Well, I think that Joe has always believed in his own abilities. The thing that I think his confidence, once our conversation, he understood exactly how we felt about him, how we feel about him, kind of freed him up to go kind of progress through spring training. Take a plan, put a plan in play, trust it, and then once he got confident in the box, the ability to use the hands, see pitches, I think more than anything else, it's just as the season started, the competitive at-bats continued to build upon themselves. You could kind of see some of this coming. Just pushing the ball forward. There were some positive results as far as balls that he was putting in play, and just the mannerism of how he walks around the clubhouse. I think he feels like he belongs here. He feels, you see it in the defense. You see it with the swings, the at-bats. There was one at-bat a couple of nights ago that strikeout and late in the game. It was a little bit frustrating for him, but he was able to handle it, came back. And so I think he was rewarded today with a big day.
Following up on that, I know you've said a few times during the spring and now how Joey's always believed in his own abilities. Are you saying there that he believed too much in his own abilities to the point that he was shutting off some of the stuff you guys were trying to tell him?
No, that's a fair question based on the rhetoric and the narrative that we've given. I think there's not too much belief. Look, this is a tough game to play at this level, and for a young guy, you need some positive results, but you also need to learn that, we talk about being stubborn with what you do, stubborn with your approach, and just what that feels like, what that means, because there are times when there are negative results and it doesn't feel good, that you can get off of your approach, and so I think that's where some of those big swings come from, some of those frustrating moments come from. So I just think that he's has allowed himself to really forget about the last at bat and just move forward.
Have you seen a difference in this first week in just two-strike approach from him, and not even approach, but just his level of confidence? I hate to overuse that word.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about getting to two strikes anymore. So that's the thing. Understanding look, he's a big guy with power. He is going to strike out. And that it's not really the end of the game for him. He's still going to continue. We're still going to allow him to play. We're going to continue to run him out there. So I don't think he's over-evaluating any one single at bat, but so he's staying engaged throughout the entire at bat. He's cut down on the chase.
Jeff, Martin really was working early with a purpose and attacking just like he said he was going to do. How important was that for his start that he had?
Yeah, I think they're all important. I think more important, though, was that when he was in some innings where he really needed to make some big pitches, I think 4 of the strikeouts came in those innings. Those I believe are big confidence builders for him, to be able to make big pitches in those type of situations, understand that his stuff is good, trust it, throw strikes. And so I think that in itself is the biggest booster for him.
I got 2 questions before I give up the microphone. Number 1 is Mazzara is okay, I assume. And number 2 is Leclerc growing. Are you gaining more and more confidence in Leclerc as the week progresses?
Yeah, I'll take the second question first. Yeah, we talked about that in what we saw. We had a lot of conversations about Leclerc in spring training, and really I go back to the game in Peoria. I'm going to reference that in spring training, what we saw that really, I think that was the big moment in spring training that really kind of solidified that if we were going to have an opportunity to add that extra arm, he was going to be on the club, and then what he's done each time he's gone out. That's why he came in the game today in that situation. And our confidence in him, his confidence in himself, the set of pitches that he has. He's got the swing and miss, two different types of changeups, and then the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. But you see, he's another one. Kind of compare him to just the mannerisms of Mazzara, with just he doesn't seem to be phased. Look, I think he's faced one of his biggest challenges last year in a young, fledgling major league experience in Boston. That he was unflappable that night when he had the bases loaded and faced Ortiz, to strike out Ortiz, and he hasn't wavered, it hasn't changed. But yes, I continue to tell him, you keep pitching like that, there's meaningful innings for him ahead. And then to answer the first question with Mazzara, he's okay. Kind of a glancing blow off of the upper right portion of the helmet. He was down. We made sure Kevin went out and checked him out and went through a litany of questions for him, looked him in the eye, and look, when he was on the bases, we continued to check with him. Tony checked with him out at third base, and so he's okay.
Just want to go back to Joey for 1 second. On the single, the 0-2 single, what was your take just on how he approached that specific situation today?
It was a solid approach. I mean, he kept his hands engaged. It wasn't a big swing. He continued to move the barrel forward, down on time, and got barrel to the baseball. That's kind of the formula of hitting.